Good evening. Today I would like to talk to you about a controversial subject. I'd like to talk to you about killing Bigfoot, killing a Sasquatch for the name of science, for the name of the discovery of this animal for official recognition. A lot of people think this subject will never get solved until we have a type specimen. Just a quick warning, there are probably going to be some simulated videos of violence and dead bodies. It's all simulated, not real. So here we go. People want to kill a Bigfoot. There are many different camps. People feel that they should all be exterminated and they're horrible killers. People are somewhere in the middle where they think maybe one or two should be collected for science or in the name of self-defense. If you're being attacked or being actively attacked or stalked, then you should have the right to kill these animals. And then other people have the opinion of they should be left alone. You shouldn't shoot at them or kill them under any circumstances. I know some of the Native Americans have these views to where you should leave them alone and never shoot at them. I personally fall somewhere in the middle. I feel if you're being harassed, threatened, attacked, being attacked, like imminent danger attack, then yeah, you should be able to shoot one. As far as bringing one in for science, I think that would be a very tall order. So it's up to you what your opinion is on killing one of these creatures. I'd like to get down to business here, and let's talk about what would be involved to actually do it. Now, the reason why there's a picture of me in front of a giant wood carving of a Sasquatch, if you can see, that's a rough recreation of Paddy carved in wood. They're very cool. And it's done roughly life-size, roughly to the scale of what Paddy was, about 7'2", 7'4". Now, I'm 5'10", and that's a female Bigfoot, considered a smallish Bigfoot. Look at the size of that thing. Look at the arms, look at the head, look at the chest. Physically, we are no match. So when it would come to hunting one of these things, it would be very similar to if you were hunting an Alaskan brown bear, very large Kodiak bear, even maybe even like a polar bear. We're talking excess of 800 to 1,000 to 1,200 pounds of pure muscle. But unlike a bear, these things can be much more dangerous because they're a lot smarter than a bear. They also travel in groups, packs, troops, whatever you want to call them. Multiples have been sighted. So we're talking physically very fast, very powerful. Like I said, they travel in groups, and I think that's your number one biggest problem you're going to have is even if you got the drop on one, got a good headshot, were able to kill it, I think you'd have a lot of others behind it. Now, I know that picture's got other creatures behind it. It's really hard to find pictures of Sasquatch, much less a group of Sasquatch. But it's just kind of a representation of you may get one, but there are other things out in the woods. Now, there's many stories, if you listen to Missing 411 and many Indian stories, Native American stories about these things taking people. So just be careful on who's hunting who here if you're actually going to go out in the woods and do this. I think a small group of 2 or 3, highly trained, highly communicative, military-like effort would be best. If you could somehow do it in a location that you're accustomed to, something where you have your equipment ready to go, someplace where you could have a car ready to go. And when most people think of hunting, you think of the lone hunter traveling for miles, going out and doing their thing, tracking and stalking their prey. I think you'd have to treat it more like a military endeavor. 4 or 5 guys, small groups, semi-automatic weapons for fast follow-up shots, and being very communicative and have good support. Have your vehicles nearby. Now, to talk about weapons for a minute, I've been shooting for many years. A bit of a firearms enthusiast. If you don't like guns, that's fine. I understand. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. On the left is your standard M4 AR-15, and on the right is a semi-automatic 308, which is roughly twice the power of the gun on the left. I would say something semi-automatic would be good. 308, 338 Win Mag, 300 Win Mag, 338 Lapua, something big and powerful, but you still want it to be lightweight to where you can get around. Now here's a silhouette of a bear, and you can see a rather generous kill section on their side when going after a bear. Now I'm using bears here. I know this is a black bear, but if you think of hunting a grizzly bear or a polar bear, they're roughly the same size, 800, 1,000, 1,200 pounds as the typical Bigfoot is reported to be. Now you look at a bear, you see that tiny little skull brain area that's a kill shot there. But when you go upright, everything changes. Bigfoots in the chest area are reported to be very thick, very broad-chested, lots of muscle, lots of dense bone. And even in a human being shot in the chest with a very powerful rifle, death is not right away. The only real off switch is the brainstem, which is the little black area in the brain up there. That's the only true off switch. So if you've got a Bigfoot charging at you, tearing down at you, or you've even got the drop on it a clean shot, chest shots are great because they're a lot bigger chance and you will kill them. It just might take longer for them to bleed out. So I would say a large gun, a lever action 45-70, a semi-automatic 308 with a full magazine, a 338 Lapua, some large caliber, heavy for caliber gun, a close range. That's why a lever action or something short barreled would be great. Somebody would even say a shotgun with slugs, although they don't penetrate that great because usually the leads in shotgun slugs are quite heavy. So if you're going to shoot one, I think you need to aim for the head. I think you need to shoot it in the nose and in the eyes, just like you would a human, the cranial ocular cavity. I'd assume their head is very strong and very thick. And you could probably get a chest shot and a heart shot if it's full broadsided, but you better have a big gun and you better have a follow-up and you better have an extraction plan. Now, once you shot one of these things, a headshot would be good because it would be the safest, cleanest, quickest way to end it. But at the same time, that's what everybody wants to see is the head. So you might do some damage to your specimen. Most hunters don't like headshots because you're going to wreck the thing you're trying to mount, your trophy. Well, if it's for science and self-defense, I think we'll deal with a head with a hole in it. So that would be my bet. If one of these things was coming down at me, a head's a lot smaller target. I'd probably just be pumping around to the thing head, chest, anywhere I could while backpedaling. Although I'd really, really never want to be in that situation with any kind of a predator or large animal. So that's basically what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Is the first step is you need a large caliber gun. You'd need a group of highly trained guys. You'd need to know where these creatures were. You'd need to have a solid extraction plan. Okay, we're a couple hundred yards from the truck. We're going to do a Grover Krantz. We're going to cut off the heads and hands, throw it in a 5-gallon bucket. We're going to take a bunch of pictures, and we're going to throw these pictures on flash drives. So that's what the next video is going to be on, is what's going to be the aftermath. But just some considerations for you guys out there that want to be famous. I don't recommend it. If you do, you're a braver man than I, and I salute you. Thank you for watching.